Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Thuli Hoyane. The Senzo MEYIWA trial, that courtroom, has turned into a chaotic scene. Everything goes in that courtroom. The decorum of that courtroom is gone because of the developments in the trial. You'll recall some time back, Judge Ratha Mokgwatleng went completely off the rails when Advocate Mnisi made a simple request to attend or to participate in the Comrades Marathon. I'm sure everybody recalls those racist comments. And we still have to see action being undertaken about Judge Ratha Mokgwatleng for those utterances. Anyway, a lot has since developed in the trial, and the result is, or the fallout from that interaction with the advocates is really something which I've never seen in any courtroom. But it is all about attitudes and disposition. Judge Ratha displays a lot of bias, not only by making utterances like that, but also because his demeanor, especially his demeanor towards the defense counsels, he is consistently hostile to the defense. He does not look like he's taking the defense seriously. But on the other hand, if you cast your eyes across that courtroom, you'll see that he maintains very cordial relationships with Advocate Baloyi. And on several occasions, whenever there is a dispute between him, these run-ins that he's always having with the defense, he will always call on Advocate Baloyi. Advocate Baloyi, what do you think? To maneuver himself out of those situations. And Baloyi, of course, because he's the blue-eyed boy of the court, will always come up and, with that fake disposition of respect to sort of throw in. He's always habitually asked to read and lecture the court and lecture the defense as if they are first-year law students. Now, I would like you to take a listen to this and get a measure of what I'm talking about. Take a listen to this.
Judges are also sometimes called the so-called judges.
Mr. Mnisi, just have a bit of respect.
As it is the court, my lord.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I deserve to be respected.
Yes.
I'm 78 years old. I've been 50 years in the profession.
Yes, my lord.
I'm sure I deserve to be respected.
As it is the court, my lord.
I understand, my lord. I've been practicing for 100 years. The state is dominant litigation.
Ms. Mshololo, I've been on the bench for 20 years. I've practiced as an attorney for 30 years. I've never ever been accused of being a crook or dishonest.
My lord, I'm also an advocate.
Yeah, fine. Please don't answer me, please.
I'm also defending the accused.
Yeah.
We all have different experiences.
Yeah, of course.
That is very ugly. Because first of all, it starts with Advocate Mnisi telling the judge to his face that, this is why we have judges. We are called so-called judges. We have judges who are called so-called judges. In that dismissive attitude to say, you know, there are judges who are not judges at all. So we see Judge Ratha Mokgwatleng taking a swipe at Mnisi to say, don't insult me, don't insult me. You see, it's becoming a two-way thing now. You utter disparaging or insulting remarks about black people and black lawyers in general. This is just how the lawyers, you know, get back at you. That you are perhaps a so-called judge, insinuating that you are not a judge but a so-called judge. Then there comes a time when there is also some altercation between the judge and Advocate Msholulu. When the judge, you'll recall, was saying, don't insult me, I've got 50 years of experience and I've never been called a crook. And Msholulu was at pains to say, I've never said we're a crook. And then the judge went into his favorite mode to talk about his 55 years of experience. You know how Msholulu retorted? Msholulu retorted perhaps by saying, oh, well, we all have our own experiences. Just dismissing the judge to say, so what if you've got 55 years of experience? I've also got my own experience. Another acerbic exchange between a judge and a defense counsel, which has now typified and defined what we can expect out of this trial almost on a daily basis. Not to be left out, Attorney Ramosipili also weighed in on the issue and said, when the judge was talking about his 55 years experience, Ramosipili just, you know, sarcastically told him, I've been practicing for 100 years. So it is this kind of back and forth, which has, you know, had a severe impact on this trial. You know, when these sorts of things happen, when Judge Ratha Mokgwatleng loses it, everybody loses it. And who can blame the defense counsel? Because I think ever since those unfortunate remarks that he made concerning Advocate Mnisi's request to participate in the Comrades Marathon, there is just no turning back. These advocates or defense counsels have lost their respect for the judge. And in the same manner, the judge is demonstrably, you know, fed up with them. And it is a very, very sad thing to watch. Now, in a most recent development now, let us come back to the famous Absalom Zungu. So angry was Zungu that at some stage he told the court that this court is corrupt. Why does it let Gininda to come here and to talk about me and does not inquire into where I am? This thing which has been done here is corruption. We have all seen how Absalom Zungu has denounced that so-called affidavit attested to him by Gininda. So now this comes from a witness. A witness for the defense comes forward before the court and says to the judge in his face, this court is corrupt. Just take a listen to this.
Allowed someone who stated that who comes here and point out at people and saying that I saw so and so doing this and that. How is it so?
Ngiyavumelana ke nokuthi vese nayo inkantolo i-corrupt ihlangene noGininda noConstable Zungu bamfakaselanga noConstable Zungu la.
I'm also stating that this court is corrupt and is in this with Gininda.
Kungani
Why
manga-
would they allow?
Sorry, are you saying this court is corrupt? Me, I'm corrupt. Because sometimes you use this word, inkantolo, or they court interchangeably. But are you saying me? I am corrupt.
Hayi angisho kuye ngisho.
Who are you referring corrupt to?
Bengalazi lelo gama phela.
Mawuthi babuzungu mawuthi wena inkantolo ke i-corrupt nayo usho
Cha ke
kanjani?
hayi
Ngoba-
ngiyaxolisa ke.
No, I
Ngiyaxolisa.
apologize, my lord.
Bengakwazi ke lokho bengibeka ukuthi kodwa inkantolo mayila umuntu wonke usenkantolo ngazi ngalokho. Nawe uphethe wena ke inkantolo kodwa ikhona. Manje bengiqonde ke khona igama bengifuna ubaloyi anginikeze izolo ngifuna ukuqedela. Lokuthi ubaloyi izinto ezifikela kuye.
So from the defense counsels, right up to the witnesses, the defense witnesses, I must emphasize, Absalom Zungu in particular, have got a sense that everything goes in that courtroom. You can say whatever you like. Nobody seems to believe in the process anymore. Because Absalom Zungu was shocked, Absalom Zungu did not have to be a lawyer to appreciate what is right or what is wrong or what should have been done and what should not have been done. Because the man was simply saying, the court is sitting here listening to so-called evidence provided by me, and it does not even bother to say who I am. The prosecution does not even bother to call me for the obvious reason that affidavit was a forgery by Gininda. But he was saying, this is corrupt because I should have been called, and that is what justice is all about. You've got to hear both sides of the story, Absalom Zungu is saying. If you're going to get Gininda to be saying what he's saying here, without even bothering to find out where I am, the so-called maker or deponent of that affidavit, that is corrupt, he said. And the judge recorded quickly to say, are you saying me? I'm corrupt. Of course, the writing was on the wall for Absalom Zungu. And he sort of half-heartedly apologized. But this is a sense of MEYIWA trial. Remember, Judge Ratam Kwadleng has asked for his own recusal. Shortly after that outburst regarding Advocate Mnisi, he actually called for his own recusal. I've never seen a judge call for his own recusal in a trial. He simply said, okay, you guys you gentlemen pointing at the accused, if you feel that this judge, taping his chest, if you think this judge is biased, you can make an application for my recusal. And I'm inclined to conclude by saying that this is about the right time to call for such a recusal by the defense counsel. Even if the case has to be delayed and perhaps has to start for a third time, I think the interests of justice will be better served. That is my own observation. It will be better served in a court of law with the necessary decorum and a judge without the disposition of Judge Ratam Kwadleng. As things stand, I really fear for the accused persons. I've got a real, well-founded fear that things will not go well at all. But of course, there's always a chance for an appeal. And I'm certain this one This case is certainly going on appeal. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me thank you for the likes, subscriptions, and shares that I'm seeing. Please continue to support this initiative. It relies on you. And have a nice day. Thank you once more. Until the next edition, which will come at about 3 p.m. this afternoon. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday.